music industry is remembering Brian Wilson, the mastermind behind the Beach Boys' chart-topping success, who was sadly passed away aged 82.
We come on this loop, John B., my grandfather and me.
God only knows what I'd do without
God only knows what God only knows.
way down Coconut.
Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take you to Bermuda, Bahama. Come on, pretty mama. I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitation. If everybody
Incredible
had
talent. To discuss this legacy, we are joined now by author of The Rise, Fall and Redemption of the Beach Boys, Brian Wilson. Peter Ames Carlin. Peter, thanks so much for your time. I mean, he is without a doubt, Brian, one of the most influential composers in modern music. What a man.
Yeah, he's a really amazing guy and very, as intense as he was and as troubled as he had been in his life, he was also just a remarkably sweet and guileless guy and very, very funny in his way. So it's really, obviously it's an immense loss for the music industry and for anyone who likes music, and also just for the people who knew him, because he was a charming and sweet-natured fellow.
It is amazing, these time machines of some of these bands in the 60s. They had a relatively short time together, and yet the music will live on forever. The Beatles, I think it was only 7 years together when they were doing music that the world will sing forever.
Yeah.
The Beach Boys, I think, disbanded in, 64? So it wasn't a huge amount of time together before they came back together, obviously.
Yeah, well, they've been together pretty consistently since, 1961. I mean, Brian left the touring band at the end of 64, but continued to produce their stuff and write all their songs, or the vast majority of them, through the rest of the 60s. And then kind of came and went through the 70s and 80s and into the 90s, and spent a lot of time working on his own solo stuff as well. So, but, the amazing thing to me is just, I started listening to the Beach Boys when I was 11 in 1974, and have spent, they've been so central to my imagination and my appreciation of pop music ever since then. And now I'm 62, and Brian's been with us the entire time. And so I'm just very grateful to have been around and have had the chance to not only see him perform and listen to his music over the years, but also, to be able to meet him and get to know him a little bit too.
For those of us, I guess, who weren't around during their heyday, right, we still recognise their songs. I mean, they're so iconic, some of those tracks. And it's interesting when we reflect on Brian, because his life wasn't perfect. There were a number of complications as well, particularly later in his life.
Absolutely. I mean, Brian, what was interesting about him in so many ways was how paradoxical his entire life and career were. On the one hand, he wrote, and produced all these songs that people associate with youth and summer and being carefree. But generally, there's nothing carefree about that music. It's very, very complicated emotionally and narratively, and musically, of course, it's breathtaking. So people think of that stuff. It's like, why does anybody who doesn't surf want to listen to a song about surfing, or people who aren't interested in race cars? It's because those songs are about life. They're about fear, and they're about being alive, and that's what makes that music survive.
Well, that guy helped the Beatles go on to do Sgt. Pepper's. That competition between them was huge, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We appreciate you being on today, and thank you for your reflections. It's a great book and insight into one of the great musical pop minds of our time. Thank you so much,
Peter.
mate.
Thank you very much.